I've made a
You've
lot
made
of changes. It's been, job changes and moving out and moving in with you and starting kind of a
Which
whole
is the
new
biggest
life.
leap any woman could ever take. So.
Well, yeah, I guess. Moving in with a man?
Well, and me specifically, I mean. Yeah.
Oh, poor women who have done that. I really feel for them.
Yeah.
You make no sense.
I know.
Smith, what's wrong with you?
Sorry.
Get it together, man. You want to cut that out. Our jobs are definitely interesting.
Yeah, to say the least. It took me a long time to grow up. I've been an idiot half my life.
Because this is not the field where
it's not for you.
Yeah, like a time at your job, you're going to be absolutely miserable. Like, things are not peachy day to day, so if you can't laugh at what's happening, as bad as it is.
Some of it will be dark comedy, folks. We're not going to lie. It's all love. We're just hoping there's a lot of workers out there who will relate. Welcome back to another episode of Offbeat Banter. We're your hosts, Jay and Lex, the world's funniest unlikely duo. This is the podcast where we talk about everything and anything mental health. Today's episode is about personal stories about me and my bad luck. Our mental health topic of the week is going to be picked by Lexi. Besides that, we're going to play a game of two truths and a lie, and then we'll wrap it up with an outro. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. On top of that, we have been launched on Spotify as well, so if you're wanting to listen audio-wise, then that's a great place to start. We have a lot of other places coming up in the near future. The next few weeks, we should be launching on all platforms.
Yeah, we're really excited. So for those who are doing long drives, who are driving to their essential jobs and want to listen on the go, I know I prefer personally to listen than to watch. So this is an awesome chance for you to turn it on and make your drive a little bit more entertaining.
So, first topic, we're going to be doing our mental health topic, Lexi's pick of the week. So we're going to be doing one each week where we pick on and off. We figured we'd start with Lexi. She had a good one, so I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, I decided to choose all about change. Changes in life and how we kind of handle them as humans.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured it would be a good one because we're so different and we adapt to change very differently. So I thought it would be really interesting to see like very, very different perspectives on adapting to change and accepting change in our lives.
Yeah, I would agree. We're complete opposites in this topic.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I am very acceptable and open to change, and I don't think I can live without it for the most part. But you are extremely anxious, and it takes a lot in you to deal with changes.
I feel like a lot of people would agree change is a huge thing. And I mean, it's inevitable and it changes as we're growing. We're going through changes, going from school to college to a job. Then we're moving out of our parents' house. Then we're meeting people and getting married and having kids. There's so many changes that you can't really prevent unless, you live with your parents for the rest of your life, which is also fine.
Right.
But there's certain things that you can't really stop from changing.
Yeah.
And it's caused a lot of anxiety in my lifetime. All those transitions, all those significant changes have caused significant amount of stress. And they still do to this day.
Right.
Whereas you, when we met and you were telling me, your childhood and how often you kind of moved from one place to another and went here and went there, and then you traveled, and then this and this. It kind of blew my mind that you can't live without change. And even now, living together, I can see how much you need change all the time.
And it's funny because I still get the same stress and anxiety from change. I've put myself in many situations where if I were to take this out, the safe route, or I was at least set up in a better situation, then I wouldn't have moved on from one thing to the next. So I definitely get anxious about those changes, but yes, I need them. It's really weird. It's this fine line for me where it's like I'm extremely anxious about taking this leap, but I have to do it.
You know what? I understand it to a certain extent, because I do get into this rut, I guess you could say, in my life, when I'm working in a certain place for too long, or there's certain things in my life that are very stagnant and not changing at all. But it has to be to the point where I'm unhappy with that.
Right.
So it has to be things that are making me unhappy that are not changing. So when it comes to that, I do get very anxious because there is no change happening. And I start getting that kind of like fire under my ass. Like, I need to do something. I need to do something. I need to make a change.
Yeah.
But if everything is going well and I'm content, I don't have that desire.
Right.
Which you do. Even if you're happy and you're fine, you know, like, I know you love, I know you love our place, and I know you love being where we are right now, but it's like any given second, if I gave you the opportunity to get the fuck out,
especially on a school bus,
you see a hole through a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for those who don't know me personally, and I mean, those who do are definitely going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the schoolie community, you know, a lot of people out there are living the nomadic life and on the road, and that is my biggest dream. It has been for many years now. I've loved living the minimalist life, besides my gear and all that, obviously.
I know. If someone looked at the studio, they'd be like, what life?
Yeah, no.
There's shit everywhere.
But it is efficient, and it is what I need. I don't buy anything more than what I need for what I'm doing in life. And that being said, I've always wanted to live the minimalistic lifestyle and tiny lifestyle. So yeah, converting a school bus into my nomadic off-grid home would be the biggest dream ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you seem to think that wouldn't be enough for me once I get that.
No, it wouldn't be.
Which I'm sure you're right, but it's definitely the biggest goal.
I really feel like no matter where we are, like, if it came to the point that you've seen every place on earth and you had a perfect place in mind where you knew where you wanted to go and you settled there, in 6 to 12 months, you would come and say, I need to go somewhere else.
I'd be trying to get to Mars.
Yeah, there would be something else. Like, there's always, but I feel like it comes from your childhood, right? You grew up with such consistent changes happening all the time and moving all the time and things happening all the time. So it's normal for you. That's
my mother for you. I mean, to this day, my mother has moved from place to place.
Yeah,
it's like a phobia.
Since I've met you.
You know I'm right, Mom.
Since I've met you. It's so funny. I'm pretty sure your mom's moved, what, twice? In the last 6 months?
Yeah.
It's crazy. See, I can't imagine that. I'm just such a person of habit, because I create routines and I create things in my life that work, like systems in my life, or organized systems in my life that work. So to break that change and to break those systems, it's a very difficult thing for me. And because I have to just restructure everything and create more systems, I don't like it.
I think it's good for us, though, to have that medium, because you keep me very grounded and I keep you on your toes, in the sense that I'm not making you make changes that are negative. I'm helping you push.
No, you're just pushing me to take a leap when I need to take a leap. And that's great. I do need someone who is able to kind of push me towards it. You know, at our last job, I was not happy. And I've told you many times, if I didn't meet you, I would have stayed there and I would have never left, no matter how unhappy I was, until it came down to like a super bad burnout. But yeah, if it wasn't for you, I definitely wouldn't have taken that step. But I also think we're very different, two extremes of the spectrum, right? There is me who's super anxious by the change, and then there's you who constantly requires it. And I feel like for mental health balance, you need the middle ground. Yeah. You need to be able to adapt to change, which I would love to learn how to do more. But, you know, eventually you need to settle down, man.
No,
you
of
can't.
Course. I just refuse to believe that I need to do that at age 30. That's all. I want to have more fun in my life first before I... And not to say I'm not gonna have fun when I settle down. It's just that I need to see more. I haven't traveled enough.
Yeah, and I totally get that,
enough.
but it's very different. Like, you want to change your life each time. It's not about seeing places. You can see places, and you can live here for the rest of your life and still go and see places if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's not that.
No, I know. But it's also the financial stability. So
yeah, I get
the big change I want in life is because of where the economy's gone, and it terrifies me, and I see people who are so much happier living a different lifestyle. So anyways, this is a whole other topic for another episode.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that in the future. But yeah, so we're definitely opposites when it comes to change. But we're adapting, and I'm very proud of you, especially in the last 6 months.
I've made a lot of changes. It's been, job changes and moving out and moving in with you and starting kind of a whole new life. Which is the biggest leap
any woman could ever take. So.
Well, yeah, I guess. Moving in with a man?
Well, and me specifically, I mean. Yeah.
Oh, poor women who have done that. I really feel for them.
Yeah.
Can we mention the fact that it took us all day? We're filming in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because it took us all day to speak to each other today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in horrible moods in the morning.
Absolutely.
And we pissed each other off and wanted nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. So it took us all day to talk to each other.
But here we are.
We're still a little saucy. I still feel.
Yeah, but that's that happy medium we're talking about.
Yeah, happy medium.
It calls for great sex later.
Oh!
If I'm lucky, anyways. All right, next segment, folks.
All right, man. Let's talk about something that, I've always suspected was a myth until I have experienced it myself. And that's Jay's bad luck. Bad luck, Jay.
Bad luck, Jay.
Yeah. I mean, if you were bad luck, Chuck, after we break up, I could meet my future husband.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So
it might be a thing.
It could be. I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, it's. I'm sure half of it's karma, but
it's definitely karma.
I've tried to change that over.
There's no such thing as luck.
I've tried to change it over the past few years, and let's just say it's not working out for me, folks.
So when we met, Jay was convinced that he had the worst luck on earth, and this started, I think, the first day we met because.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember, but
happened.
I remember like when you got my number and you asked me to pick you up because your car was at the shop.
Oh yeah, my car broke down.
Your car broke down.
And I just started a new job 2
yes,
hours
and
away
you
from
just,
where I know anyone.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess like quick story on how this went down. You started working. We had a staff meeting the following day. And then you got my number somewhere from the house where we worked.
I think I just
you called the house and asked for my number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Well, I asked the supervisor, I think.
Yeah. No, yeah, you definitely did. And then you're like, oh, I have the worst luck. My car broke down and everything sucks. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? But I had a crush on you. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick you up. Let's go.
Exactly. That's where it all started, folks.
Yeah, and after that, it was every time I think we did anything, you're like, I have the worst luck. So this is going to happen. And then it would happen. And I was convinced it was just, I'm still convinced it's all in your head and it's all, the law of attraction.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
But karma is definitely one part.
Yeah.
And luck is not a thing.
No.
Unless you're a leprechaun.
Leprechaun?
Lucky Charms, man.
You're such a dink.
Yeah. So tell us some examples of this bad luck.
Well, where do I start? I don't even know where to start. I mean, we could start with the COVID story.
That was so good. It was the most recent bad luck story.
COVID test, yeah.
Yeah, this is the most recent one. So start with that.
What, a few weeks ago?
It was probably a week ago. That was our last test.
A week or two ago?
Yeah.
Your last test. I've had 2 since.
Oh, yeah. No. This was a few weeks ago because it was not the last test we did. Yeah. Because we went together. Go ahead.
That's the life of frontline workers, folks. We don't even remember what COVID test we're talking about. Anyways,
Yeah.
so we end up going to the facility where we have to be tested here in Barrie, Ontario, and so we basically we sit down and they take both of us in at the same time. So Lexi's with me. We sit down, and I had to bring up an email on my phone to show the outbreak number to my place of work so that they could fast track my results.
So good.
And I pull out my phone, and keep in mind, folks, I just got a new phone. It's the LG Velvet. Great phone. This is not a sponsor or anything, but I do love
you
that
wish
phone.
it was a sponsor.
Yeah, I really do. It's a great phone, but it's huge, and I'm not
That
quite
has
used
nothing
to,
to do with
That
it.
has everything to do with it, woman. So I'm not quite used to it yet. So I'm trying to I tried to backlog where you can show where all your apps are to get
Yeah, you
to
opened all the windows at once.
Yeah, to get to my email, but ended up clicking on my Instagram. And for some fucked up reason, which you can amount to or test to, that I don't watch shit like this normally.
That's why it was
That's
amazing.
why it's so fucking good.
No, okay, so let's talk about the setup. It's me and you sitting beside each other in the chairs in the little cabin. If anyone had their COVID test done, you'll know what we're talking about. And the nurse is digging through all her stuff and, scanning the driver's license and the health card. And she is going and making the little printout stickers for our test tubes. And, she's completing paperwork. But she's right there beside us as this dink is looking at his phone.
Yeah. So I take out my phone and open Instagram by accident, and I guess it's some weird meme style video where there's a caption and it's playing a song in the background, and it's like a dirty ass rap tune, and it's going,
oh yeah,
I beat that pussy up, blah, 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 and it's just going on, and I'm fucking freaking out. I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Like this.
It was so good because I'm just sitting with a straight face because in my head I am crying. Yeah. I am dying laughing.
Because I'm freaking out.
All I'm thinking is Jay is sweating so hard right now.
My fucking bad luck. Man.
And I just go, man, what are you listening to?
Or when we first met. So we'll go back to our first job when we met.
Good.
And we had a client there who was very high behavioral and definitely shouldn't do specific things one-on-one, to say the least. And so it's my second day there. No, maybe no. I guess it would have been my third because I would have shadowed for the first 2 days.
Yeah. This was. I think it was your first shift on your own. So you had 2 shadow shifts, and then it was your first one-on-one day. Yeah.
So this individual asked to go for a bike ride, and I think nothing of it. Like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Like, this is awesome. I didn't get to do bike rides with my last job because they were all very low functional and, physically not capable. Yeah. So I was excited. We gear up, throw our stuff on, go for about a 20-minute bike ride.
Wait, at this time, I'm in the house in the office, and our supervisor came down, and he's like, oh, Jordan just took so-and-so for a bike ride. And I go, what? By himself? That's not okay. Like, no one except me and our supervisor really would ever do it.
Which no one told me, keep in mind.
And we weren't originally, like, there was no way anyone was allowed to go one-on-one. But, Caleb and I, shout out to Caleb. If you watch us, you better watch.
Caleb,
yeah,
you better watch Caleb.
Better watch it. Who was our supervisor, we were like, we can do it. Like, we got this. So him and I started taking this individual one-on-one, and it was going okay. Like, there were some times where, things kind of hit the fan, but it wasn't so bad. Like, we never came into an issue. But go on.
But you would also never let a new
I would
worker
never,
do
never.
that.
Like, we wouldn't
because
even.
this individual is notorious for screwing with new staff.
Absolutely.
It's his thing.
He
takes
absolutely
full advantage.
fed on the weaknesses of the new staff. And mind you were an SMG trained, which he knew. The first thing he wants to know is whether or not you're safe management trained,
Right.
which means that you can do containments and restraints.
Right.
And he knew that you weren't. So he was going to take full advantage. And I knew that. So we're in the office, Caleb and I.
Yeah.
And this is when we get the call of,
They get a call from me on the radio saying, assistance at the so-and-so farm. I forget it was.
It's fine.
Whatever it was called. And so basically what happened was we're going for a bike ride, thinking nothing of it. We're going straight down the road. He gets pretty quiet on me. I'm asking some questions and whatnot, and I get no answers back. And then he just pulls a right-hand turn into this, like, private farm, and, like...
Yeah, it was someone's property.
Yeah,
it was someone's
full-on
house
family,
on there.
everything lives there. And he's booking down this driveway towards the house, and I am losing my shit. Like, what the fuck do I do? So I'm biking after him. And keep in mind, folks, these are, like, donated bicycles.
No, they were kids' bikes. Like, they were the kids' bikes. You took one of the kids' bikes.
Oh, well, whatever. They were shit bikes is what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, pedaling away trying to get to this fucking kid. And I finally get to him, and I had to hold his bars down and whatnot. Anyways, we won't get into the...
Yeah, no, but the funniest,
nitty-gritty.
so we all start running, me and a couple other people, and we realized we can't make it to the farm fast enough. Because it wasn't so far, but it was...
When you get an assistance call, you need to be there
Exactly.
within, like, a 2-minute span.
Yeah, this was going to be... And by the time we got there running, like, we were not going to function really well, right? So at the same time, our managers pulled up into the driveway, and we just hopped into the car. We couldn't sit in the back seats, so we just left the doors open and hung off of each other.
Yeah.
On the tires that were in the back seats.
Yeah.
And that was
just booked.
Yeah, and we just booked it. But
everything was good though. He just wanted the attention, really.
Yeah, no. Then as soon as we showed up, it was a good time.
Speaking of attention, there's always the dog and horse story.
Oh shit!
Of the same kid.
This is so good because
I don't know if I want the world to know.
No,
this
listen,
one.
You have to tell the story, and this is hilarious because nobody knew this was happening at the time. Like, it wasn't something that anyone could imagine was going on. So we were just living our lives at work, going on about our business, doing some work in the office, the kitchen, watching the other kids.
This is also a test of how good of a worker I am, folks. So you better appreciate the things I've done while on the job.
I don't know if I would call it being a good worker. I smell a little desperation of trying to get the kids to like you, but
it's not even,
whatever.
At that point, I didn't need him to like me. He loved me at that point. It was being so...
Yeah, you didn't want to...
somewhat burnt out that week and not wanting to deal with behaviors and sort of... I know everyone out there has given in at least once.
Absolutely. I mean, that totally comes with that working in the field, right? There are certain days you're like, I can't... You got to choose your battles, and this is not a battle that I can fight right now.
And the funny thing is the entire act wasn't against any protocol, so it's not like I did anything wrong.
Tell the story.
It's just embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. It's so good.
Okay, so basically, this facility we worked at was a locked-in facility, so they had a lot of backyard space, but essentially it's all fenced in. The individual I was working with asked to go out back and play. We went out, he was starting to get somewhat behavioral and was showing signs of, not being in the greatest mood. So I started giving in to some of the games he wanted to play and whatnot, and we grabbed, a tennis ball and some gloves and then a skipping rope and whatnot, a few things from underneath the deck where we kept everything. So
This was summer.
Yeah, so he brings it out and we toss the ball around, everything's going well. Then he grabs the rope and he goes, okay, time to play dog. And I go, time to play dog? What do you mean? What's dog? And he goes, you're going to be the dog. And I go, what do you mean I'm going to be the dog? And he goes, so you like tie the rope around you.
First of all, this is not the guy I would ever allow to tie a rope around me.
Yeah, no, it was around my waist, and that was scary enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we tie it around my waist, and at this point, I'm just rolling my eyes because I want this to be over with, and I can't wait for my shift to change to my next client. Anyways, so we start walking around the backyard, and he is literally walking me like a dog and asking me to bark. And, like, folks, it got to the point where I literally lifted my leg on the fence and pretended to take a piss.
Did you have to take a shit, too?
Oh, he wanted it all. And then it turned into a horse where I was neighing and, like, trotting around the backyard. Now, the funniest part of this entire story is not only the fact that no one knew it was going on because everyone else was in the house, but the fact that there was probably distinctive footage of me doing all these things.
Yes.
Literally being a fucking horse. Trotting around the backyard because there was cameras everywhere on that place, and we never got to see it.
I know.
We never got to retrieve the footage because that would be extremely illegal.
What's funny is when, you know, shift change happened and I was the next person who was working with him, he comes to me and looks at me and goes, you won't believe what I just made Jordan do. And I'm like,
yeah, the little fucker was so proud of himself.
I'm like, tell me more. And he tells me this story, and I was crying. Yeah,
and then I came down the stairs to the main great room where you're sitting with him, and you go, hey, Jordan, what noise does a horse make? And I went, bitch.
Listen, you were not going to tell me the story. The only reason I found out is
I wasn't going to tell anyone
I know, that's the best part. He told me.
Now I'm telling it on my podcast.
Like, I know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it took you a while to tell me the story. Like, you were like, I can't tell you. It's super embarrassing. I don't want you to know.
Yeah, that day was a lot for me.
You lost a little piece of yourself?
It was a long, quiet drive home. That's for sure. To say the least.
Yeah. But it's all good fun.
Oh, man.
All right. Shall we move on to our next segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Welcome back to Two Truths and a Lie.
Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay. So we didn't show these to each other before this.
No, we did not.
Because we didn't want to know if we know.
Right.
Which I feel like maybe we should have, but it's fine. It's okay.
I feel like you might know these.
I feel like you might know these too. I mean, I've mentioned them, so this will actually just be a test to whether or not you've listened to me.
Same, actually. Yeah, it's...
Oh, shit.
No, it's perfect.
I have not.
No, you're terrible at it.
I know.
This is going to be great. Okay.
All right. You want to go first?
I don't know. Do I?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Number 1. I performed in the International Blues Fest in Memphis, Tennessee 2 years in a row.
Truth.
Number 2. You have to wait till I say all of them and then tell me which one is a lie.
That's fine. I just want to show off and know that I know that it's true.
Okay, well, knock it off. You can't say anything until I say all 3. I jumped off a bridge into water in the middle of a small cottage town with my friends, and we were naked. I once came face to face about 100 feet with a grizzly bear while fly fishing in the Athabasca River. Which one is a lie?
Shit. I don't know, because I feel like the second one is true. I know you went jumping off a bridge with your friends.
I've done that several times.
I know. I just don't know if you were naked. Like, that is... But I feel like you've said you were. But I don't know if, like, my brain is just kind of making it up.
Oh, your brain does that a lot. Makes random shit up all the time.
Divorce.
Okay, I'll take that back. But you do think that things are
a fact.
truthful when they're not. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's because, no, I'm convinced that some things have happened when they haven't. Yeah. Anyways.
So you think number 1 is true?
Yeah, I know number 1 is true.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a bad one. I probably shouldn't have said that.
No, it's good. So the last one. I feel like you've mentioned that you've come face to face with a grizzly bear or a bear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
So is it number 2 or 3?
Maybe you got the game wrong and it's actually... No? Not possible?
No.
Interesting.
I did hit you with a technicality, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Okay, can I look at them? You didn't write like which one's true, right? 100 feet. Is that the technicality? Fishing in Athabasca River. Where is Athabasca River?
Well, I can't tell you that.
Why? What do you mean? If I knew where Athabasca River was.
It's out west. It runs through a lot of places. But if I say, okay, fine. It's one of the main rivers that run through the Jasper National Park.
So is that supposed to give away that it's the truth?
I don't know, is it? I can't give you hints.
I know. I jumped off a bridge into water in the middle of a small cottage town with my friends, and we were naked.
Doesn't that sound fun?
See, like you would do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. What is fly fishing?
What is fly fishing? Oh, you're really trying to get technical here.
Yeah. What is fly fishing?
There's spin cast fishing and then there's fly fishing.
I don't understand the words you're saying.
Most used forms. Fly fishing, it's just a different rod and reel. You use nymphs and these different baits that look like actual bugs that would be on the surface of water and underwater.
I feel like you wouldn't know how to do that.
Instead of using like flashy colored baits on a spin cast.
I'm going to go with number 3 is a lie.
And number 3 was the grizzly bear one.
Yeah.
Ready for the answer?
Yeah.
The answer is number 2.
Fuck!
Yes, I have jumped off bridges. I've never done it naked.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Are you sure?
Yeah, maybe I should think about that a little
I
harder.
feel
no,
like
I'm sure I've never done it naked.
All right.
I've jumped off a good amount of bridges into water.
Yeah,
with
like
my buddies, but
and I know you've told me that, so I think that's what threw me off.
No, that it's funny. I got you with because those are all stories that I've been a part of.
Yeah.
But with that one, it was reminding me of a time that I went up to our mutual friend Brendan's cottage, and a bunch of us jumped off a bridge there, but we were definitely clothed.
Huh. Interesting.
Grizzly bear definitely happened. I was fly fishing I had waders on. I was in the middle of the river. He was probably about 100 feet out. Stared me dead in the eyes. I don't know if I was between him or her and some berry patches or what, but she didn't seem too stoked. Because I was in the water, I didn't get, she didn't rush me or anything. So it was a quick stare down. I grabbed my tackle box. I let the river take me. I literally sat back and floated downstream for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I got out of the water once I couldn't see her anymore on the other side, and I got the fuck out of there.
Huh.
It was one of the most exhilarating experiences of my life.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, I have never felt more like a man than I did in
backing
that
away
split
from
second.
A bear.
When I was completely alone, right?
Yeah,
yeah. I'd go fish for lunch sometimes, and I was working at the local fishery there, and so it was a cool experience.
That's
and then
great.
Number 1, obviously, you knew because
I
like to talk about my experiences as a musician all the time.
Absolutely. That one I knew for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, my turn.
Lexi's turn.
Okay. When I was 11, I visited Iceland by myself. I have gone swimming with sharks and stingrays. And I have never participated in professional competitive sports.
Oh, no. I feel like you're hitting me with a technicality as well. Say the last one. You've never competed.
I've never participated you could say competed in professional competitive sports.
I feel like that should be the answer, but now I feel like you have, and that's freaky because I have no idea what you did as sports.
Really?
No, I don't think we've once talked about any sports.
So is it the truth then?
Because I know you as someone who does not fucking do sports or anything like that.
That's very true. Yeah, we do talk about the fact that I don't do sports.
I can see you going to Iceland by yourself when you were 11.
Yeah? How do you see that?
Because that just seems like something insanely sporadic that you...
Because I'm so sporadic.
Well, I don't know. It's just living in Russia and with the family that you have. I don't know. I could see it happening. What was the second one?
I have gone swimming with sharks and stingrays.
That I could believe too. Wow. This game's fucking tough.
I know.
Huh. Let's go with professional sports.
Yeah.
Like at a professional level.
Yeah.
That's the fucking answer.
That's it. I've never participated.
Oh, wait. So, okay. That's how
the line is, me. I have never participated in professional competitive sports.
Oh, okay. So that's definitely true.
I don't know whether or not I should be offended.
No, that's 100% true. At 11 or the Sharks?
At 11 or the Sharks?
I'll go Sharks. You've never swam with sharks.
I've never swam with sharks?
Yeah.
That's your answer.
Yeah.
Ah, you're so wrong.
Oh.
And you know what's funny? The lie is I have never participated in professional competitive sports.
What?
Yeah, so from the age of probably 9 to 12, I was in acrobatics, which you definitely knew.
Oh, you did acro, yeah.
Yeah, I did acrobatics, rock and roll, and we participated at like a national level.
Really?
I competed at a national level. Yeah, traveled and all. Yeah. Huh. I mean, I don't talk about it a lot, but which is funny because literally like 2 days ago we had a conversation, not 2 days, but last week we had a conversation where I was like, man, I can't do splits anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It totally failed. Yeah. But yeah, I've done that. And I told you I've gone to sports camp, which was for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely wasn't listening to that. 100%. I knew you did acro, though. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So the story...
But I just never would have thought at, like, a national level.
So the story of...
You're flexible, so I'll give you that.
Thanks. So, the story of when I was 11 and I visited Iceland is actually a technicality. Like, I definitely thought you would think that's a lie.
No, I figured that would be something...
No, are you insane? I was a child.
I know, but you're very well traveled.
Yes, but, okay, this happened because I was traveling from Canada to Russia, returning home from visiting my dad, and we had to do an emergency landing in Iceland because someone on the plane has lost their mind and we're not stable and we're like trying to take over the plane and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just regular stuff. So we had to do an emergency landing and we had to stay there for a bit. And that's how I ended up in Iceland alone, and my mom saw it on the news. Like, imagine having an 11-year-old who is traveling and then you see on the news they're
She's
just in Iceland. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the story of that. And then I've gone swimming with sharks and stingrays with my dad when we went to Dominican, I think, when I was younger.
Would you do it again?
Yeah. Wow. Which is cool. So the sharks were toothless sharks.
So you won't unhook a fish while you go fishing with me?
What do you mean? I'll do it.
You've told me that you will not touch a fish and that I have to do it for you if you catch one.
Well, I feel bad because the hook's like in their mouth and just, that's not nice. There's nothing to do. I'm not scared of the fish. But yeah, no, I held on to my dad the whole time, like clung onto his arm and was like, please don't let me go. We were snorkeling with him. But it was pretty cool. Yeah. So you failed and I failed. We don't know each other at all.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, no. This is revealing a lot about our relationship.
Yeah, we're still...
Gives us something else to fight about.
We're still young. We're still fresh.
We're still young. Speak for yourself. Well, I think that should wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today. Please remember to like and subscribe and leave us some comments down below and let us know what you think. What would you like to hear us talk about more? If you like what you see so far, give us a thumbs up and follow us on social media.
Yeah, be sure to follow us on whatever platform you're listening to for updates and
download the episodes. Download the episodes as well.
Yes.
We're going to put the links to our Spotify in the description box as well, so you can access it from here if you want.
All right, folks. We love you. I love you.
I love you too.
See ya.
See you soon. You make no sense.
I know.
Smith, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
Get it together, man. You want to cut that out. Our jobs are definitely interesting.
Yeah, to say the least. It took me a long time to grow up. I've been an idiot half my life.
Because this is not the field where...
It's not for you.
Yeah, like a time at your job, you're going to be absolutely miserable. Like, things are not peachy day to day, so if you can't laugh at what's happening, as bad as it is...
Some of it will be dark comedy, folks. We're not going to lie. It's all love. We're just hoping there's a lot of workers out there who will relate.